Greetings animal lovers and welcome to How to Help Animals. In today's video, we discuss 20 things you never should feed your birds. My promise to you is that you'll have learned a thing or two when the video is over. Did you know there was a study published in 2019 about the decline of birds in North America? The study showed that bird population has decreased 30% since the 70s. Kingrail, chestnut-colored longspur, bank swallow, black swift, and the evening grosbeak were the birds that decreased the most in population. There are many reasons bird populations are decreasing. The most common reasons are habitat loss, free-roaming cats, birds crashing into buildings, pesticide use, the food decline in fewer insects to eat, and of course climate change. Of course you want to help the birds, but it can be hard to know what you can and cannot feed them. In this video, we'll go through the feeding of birds and helping them with their food decline. Some foods aren't suitable for birds and bring more harm than providing energy. In this video, we'll go through 20 foods you should never feed wild birds. But before we start, an important question. What language does geese speak? Portuguese. Just a heads up, there will be more bird puns, so stick around. Are you ready? Number 1. Avocados. They should call them avocados. Avocados contain a toxin called persin, which is highly toxic to birds and can be really harmful to the hearts of some species. Everything in the avocado is harmful to birds: the outer shell, the fruit meat, the pit, and the seed. If the bird would eat persin and get toxified, it would lead to the bird collapsing, lethargy, heavy breathing, and even sudden death. Symptoms of persin poisoning show within 12 hours in birds. Although there is no cure for birds that have eaten avocado, a veterinarian can give the bird supportive care in their last moments. If you want to give your bird some healthy fats, why not make some vegan fat balls made out of coconut fat for them? Number 2. Bread. Bread is that thing that everyone always needs to be reminded of not to feed birds. You will always see people feeding birds with an old loaf of bread. So what's the harm with bread? Bread isn't actually toxic and harmful to the birds. The problem with bread is that it doesn't provide the bird with almost any nutritional value. How would you feel if your entire diet was made up of plain white bread? Instead of bread, choose wheat and oats. Not only do both contain 10% protein, 10% fiber, but also a lot of minerals. Next time visiting the park, leave the bread at home and bring some oats with you instead. Number 3. Caffeine. Caffeine can be toxic to birds. It can increase heart rate, arrhythmias, hyperactivity, but also cardiac arrest and death. Caffeine can be found in coffee, tea, energy drinks, soda, and supplements. What happens if a bird drinks or eats something containing caffeine? Hopefully, the bird didn't consume too much caffeine and nothing will happen. However, if you see a bird drinking coffee, make sure to provide them with a lot of water to keep them hydrated. Then, hopefully, they will be fine. But to make sure, contact a veterinarian. Number 4. Chocolate. Both cats and dogs will be in severe danger only by eating a few grams of chocolate. Birds don't require much chocolate to be lethal. Anything more than 2 grams is hazardous. Chocolate contains both theobromine and caffeine, which both are toxic to birds. Symptoms of toxicity from chocolate typically appear about 10 hours after ingestion. Therefore, if you have a pet bird who consumes chocolate, you need to immediately take it to the vet. Number 5. Cookies. Cookies, biscuits, crackers, or whatever you call it, are not suitable for birds. Cookies usually contain a lot of sugar and butter. which isn't a part of a wild bird's natural diet. As with bread, cookies are also made from flour, which doesn't provide any nutritional value for the birds. Instead, cookies fill up the bird's belly and force the bird to stop looking for proper food. Next important question. What bird robs you when you bathe? A robber duck. Number 6. Dried beans. Dried, uncooked, raw beans are toxic to birds. They contain a lectin called hemagglutinin, which is very bad for birds. However, cooked beans are great food for birds. They provide the birds with the rich nutrients packed with protein and fiber, and it keeps them full for longer. Number 7. Fats. Some animal fats should be avoided to be given to birds. Fat from bacon, for example, contains a lot of salt. A too high amount of salt can hurt the kidneys, and it isn't good for you or the birds. However, there is fat from non-animal sources which can be healthier and provide the birds with nutrients without raising their cholesterol levels. For example, coconut fat. Number 8. Garlic. Garlic contains a chemical called allicin, which can cause anemia among birds. Leave the garlic to us humans and give the birds something else instead. Number 9. Honey. You should avoid feeding honey to the birds. Honey that has been stored improperly can absorb moisture, which leads to the growth of microorganisms and mold. However, this is uncommon, and seeing mold on honey is rare. But even the best organic honey can hold Clostridium botulinum, which can develop a lethal poison called botulism and pass it on to the birds. Botulism is a rare food poisoning, yet very hazardous if it occurs. That's why children under 1 aren't recommended to consume honey. Number 10. Milk. Milk isn't lethal, but still isn't good for birds to drink. Birds are lactose intolerant and will cause them to suffer. If fed milk containing dairy, the birds will suffer from both bloated stomachs and diarrhea. It's not only milk containing lactose, but also other food. Yogurt, cheese, and halloumi are other examples of things you should never feed birds. Already halfway through? Why not another pun? What do birds wear to the beach? A bikini. Number 11. Mushrooms. Where raw mushroom cause digestive problems and the mushroom cap can potentially cause liver damage, you might see that cooking mushrooms remove all bad toxins, but that isn't the case. The small remaining amount can still affect the birds in the same negative way. Number 12. Old nectar. Nectar is a sugar-rich liquid that comes from flowers. Sold in stores, it usually comes in powder or liquid form. Like other things containing sugar, it can spoil and harm the birds. You can see on the nectar if it has changed colors into some cloudy mixture. You will also notice that there are some small floating clumps. I usually mix nectar with the bird mix in my bird feeders to give them an extra boost. Number 13. Onions. Onions have been used by humans for thousands of years. Although safe for us, they're really toxic to birds. Onions contain sulfur, which can cause irritation in the bird's mouth and cause ulcers. Any type of onion causes this, no matter the color or shape. Number 14. Pesticides. Pesticides can harm the bird in 2 ways. Pesticides can be lethal to birds if it has contaminated their bird seeds and other foods. Pesticides' main purpose is to eliminate pests in your garden, like insects that thrive on your plants in the garden. If you remove the insects, you also remove many birds' natural foods, causing the birds to starvation. Please don't use pesticides in your garden, but instead let nature solve it for you. Frogs and birds eating insects, hedgehogs eating slugs, for example. Number 15. Potato chips. Potato chips contain mainly three things: potatoes, salt, and oil. While chips provide a tiny bit of nutritional value in the minerals and vitamins, it comes with a great amount of salt and oil. Salt is not good for birds in this form and should instead be consumed in moderation. Too much salt may actually be toxic to birds. It's that time again. Are you ready for another pun? Why does the flamingo stand on one leg? If it lifted both legs, it'd fall over. Okay, only a few bad foods left. I hope you're learning something and enjoying the video. Do you have a favorite bird joke? Share it in the comments. And while you're there, click the like button. Thanks! Number 16. Raw meat. While many birds are carnivores and omnivores, you shouldn't provide them with meat scraps. Many people have a problem with carnivorous birds in the neighborhood and are scared for the safety of their pets. Raw meat waste also attracts pests like rats, which bring other challenges. If there's a large population of omnivore birds in your area, you might want to consider offering them dried mealworms or suets instead. Number 17. Salt. Salt isn't good for birds, at least not too much. A too high amount of salt can be toxic to birds. Too much salt can disturb the electrolyte and fluid balance in the birds' tiny bodies, resulting in massive thirst, kidney failure, and also death. Number 18. Spoiled seed. Although birds aren't picky eaters, there are some things they don't eat. Seeds that smell weird and may have some mold on it are not their favorite things to eat. If the seeds have been exposed to moisture, they can grow mold, fungus, and even feces on the seeds. Not so tempting to eat. However, if the bird's food supply were scarce, the birds might eat the spoiled seed and it might end up killing them. If the seeds become rancid, throw them away. Number 19. Table scraps. Some table scraps are suitable for birds to eat, but it also comes with a risk of giving the birds your leftover food scraps. Pasta, veggies, fruit, and nuts are examples of good items to provide the birds with. However, it's important that you check the food for mold and if they have started to rot. If they're good to eat, why not feed yourself with it instead? The birds are happier with bird seeds. Food scrap most certainly don't provide all the nutrition the birds require. There is also the risk of attracting pests who also enjoy scraps. So, we're at the last one. You watched this entire video. Thank you for that. Seriously. If you appreciate this video, please let me know by clicking the like button. And if you've come this far, write Bumblebee in the comment section. It'll be our little secret. Are you ready for the last one? Let's go. Number 20. Xylitol. Xylitol is mostly known as an artificial sweetener. It's usually found in sugarless gums and diet foods, but also some vegan treats like chocolates. Xylitol, however, does come with a price. It can cause hypoglycemia, liver damage, but it could also be lethal to pets and other animals. Birds shouldn't be offered sweets, chewing gum, or any other human treats unless it's nuts. There you have it. 20 things you should never feed birds. Thank you for watching this entire video. If you want to learn more about helping animals, please consider subscribing. We put out 2 videos every week with helpful tips like this one, for example. Before we go, one last pun. Why did Batman's sidekick go to jail? He was caught robbing a bank. See you in the next video. Bye bye!